Okay, so 5.4, multiplying fractions. Okay, we have done this before. Raise your hand if you've done this before, multiplying fractions. We've done this before, right? This is kind of a review for all of us, right? Okay, so on page 241, the middle, there's a multiplying fractions thing there, right? It says, the product of two or more fractions is equal to the product of the numerators over the product of the denominators. In other words, if I have 2/3 times, I don't know, 9/6, okay? Then I would multiply the top and the top together, and then the bottom and the bottom together, right? So it's going to be equal to 2 times 9 over 3 times 6, right? Okay, now obviously we can do the cancellations before we do the actual multiplications, right? Okay, it would be easier because if I went ahead and just multiplied them, well, this is a little, okay, this is not a good example. Let's do something else. Let's say we had, I don't know, 10 over 7. Okay, so I had 10 over 7 would be 2 times 10, 3 times, and if I did the multiplication, I would go 14 over 30, and then I would look to simplify, correct? I would look to simplify, and this is an even number, this is an even number. So I can say, well, this is going to be 7 over 15. If I divide the top by 2 and divide the bottom by 2, correct? But there really is no need to do this because if I go back here and I do the simplification now, I divide top and bottom by 2, right? Then I can multiply across and I'm going to get 7, 3, 5, which is 7 over 15. Which is the same thing, right? So you want to do the simplification in this state right here rather than multiplying through and then doing the simplification. Does that make sense? Make sense? Are we good? Okay. So what do we do if we have mixed numbers in here and multiplying them? If I had mixed fractions, 5 1/2 times 6 times 3/4. How would I do that? Cooper, what would I do?
Well, I guess you would turn the numbers into, so it's like instead of 5, it's just put 2, 5 times and
5 times 2 plus 1.
Yeah.
So you do and input them into an improper fraction first, right? So you would go ahead and convert them to 2 over 2 times 5 plus 1 is 11 times 24 plus 7 is 3 is 27 over 4, and then you would deal with it. Okay? So if you have mixed fractions like this, you want to turn them into improper fractions first, and then deal with it. Okay? All right? Okay, let's see. Anything else I need to talk about there? No, it doesn't look like this. Let's go ahead and work some examples. Example, so example number 1. Number 1, we have 7/10 times negative 4 over 21. Okay, so how would I do this? Pastor, what do I do first?
Put the negative sign on 4.
Okay, so I would, first of all, you want to determine whether it's positive or negative number, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you want to do? So I have a positive number times a negative number, so it's going to be a, Lysandra, what kind of number is it?
What?
Huh?
What? I kind of got lost. What? Sorry.
I have a positive number times a negative number. So that would be a
Negative number?
negative number, right? So it's a negative number. Overall, it's going to be a negative number, right? So you know that, right? And then I would now go ahead and multiply the 7 times 4 on the top. On the bottom, it would be 10, 21, right? So now let's do the simplifications. Okay. So Grace, what can I simplify here? The 10 and the 4, right? Because they're both even numbers, right? So this would be 2, this would be 5. Anything else I can do? Elijah?
7 and 21.
7 and 21, right? So I can divide this by 7, this guy by 7. So I have now 1 times 2, 5 times 3, and now I can go no further. So again, it's a negative number. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 3 is 15, right? So that would be your answer, okay? Okay, so that's that. Let's go to example number 2. Emmys. Each year, the Academy of Television Arts and Science presents gold-plated Emmy Awards for programs and individuals in the television industry. Each Emmy statue weighs 3 3/4 pounds. In 2002, 63 statues were awarded. What is the combined weight of all the statues? Okay. So there are 63 statues. All right, so there are 63 statues. So, and each of them weigh 4 3/4, correct? So you have to multiply those two numbers together, right? 4 3/4, okay? So how would you do this? We already talked about this. Logan, how am I going to do this?
So you do 4 times 4,
Uh-huh.
then you would add the 1, add 3.
Okay, so you're putting this into an improper fraction then, right?
Yep.
So it'd be 4 over
19.
19. And what's the next step?
Then you would multiply them.
So you multiply now, because this is the same as this, right?
Yeah.
So now you're going to go ahead and multiply 63 times 19, 1 times 4. So 63 times 19, 2, 54, 56, 63, 1197 over 4. 1197 over 4. Okay. So if I do the division, looks like I get 2, 39, 9, 37, 9, 299. Is that what that is? Yeah, that's the correct answer. Good. Okay. All right. So again, the key here is to change this into an improper fraction, and then do the multiplication, right? Example number 3. Example number 3 is now we're going to multiply 2 mixed fractions together again and see what happens. Example number 3. Negative 2 3/4 times 1. And no, 3 1/5. 3 1/5. Okay. So, Pastor, walk us through this.
You gotta go 4 times 2.
Okay, which
4
is
times 2 plus 3,
uh-huh,
which is going to be
11.
11.
Okay.
And 5 times 3 plus 1, which is going to be 16.
Over
Over 5.
5, right? And it's a negative number, right? If you have a negative number times a positive number, so it's a negative number, right? So now we can do the simplification if there's anything to be done. Is there any simplifications we can do here? What are they?
The 4 and the 16.
4 and the 16, good. So this would be 1, this would be 4. Anything else? No? Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and multiply across now. 11 times 4 is 44. 1 times 5, and that would be your answer. If you wanted to, you could change it to a mixed fraction. Then it would be minus 8 4/5. Like I said before, this is perfectly fine for me. Okay. Example number 3, and last but not least, we have example number 4. Let's go here. 4. Example number 4. Simplify the expression. We have so this is m over 3 times negative 12/5. Okay. Elijah, walk us through this.
So we're doing A, right? You would first you bring them together, so m times 12.
Negative 12 times m.
And then you do 5 times 3 times 5.
Okay, all right. What's next?
You do the cross.
Is there any simplification I can do?
No. No, wait. No, wait. No, it's because you put them in the wrong way. You switched in and 12 there.
Well, it's the same thing.
Well, I didn't know you could. I thought you had to do.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 and 12.
Yeah, 3 and 12. There you go. 3 and 12, right? 4 and 1. Okay. So I'm going to have negative 4m over 1 times 5, which is 5, correct? Is there anything further we can do?
No.
I don't think so. We're done, right? Let's talk about B. In B, we have n squared over 10 times 5n cubed over 9. Okay. Grace, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this?
You would do,
It's positive times a positive, so it's the same positive, right? There's nothing, we don't have to worry about the sign. That's nice.
you would cross out the 10
And
and the 5
the 5, okay, this becomes 1
and 2.
and 2. Is there anything else we can do?
No.
Not really, right? So on the top, I'm going to have n squared times n cubed. On the bottom, I have 2 times 9, which is 18. Can I simplify this guy here? Can I combine these two?
Yeah.
2 called B, what would they be?
B5.
N to the 5th. Good. N to the 5th over 18. Right? Okay. All right. And that's it. Let me get you some homework here.